Bonjour, je m'appelle Monsieur Pierre. Comment ça va? Bonjour, je m'appelle Monsieur Pierre. Comment vous appelez-vous? Bonjour, je m'appelle Monsieur Pierre. Comment allez-vous?
Why are you speaking French?
Why am I speaking French? Because my name is Marcel Pierre. What do you expect me to speak? Lithuanian? If my name was, I don't know a Lithuanian name. But if I did, and if I had one, then I would speak Lithuanian.
Who told you your name was Marcel Pierre?
Who told me? Who told me? You are such a funny person. No one has to tell one his name. One just knows it. And that, my dear girl, is as plain as the nose on your face. Boy, does she have an ugly nose. Unfortunately for her, it seems to fit in well with the rest of her face.
Where are you from?
Where am I from? I would think that would be obvious from my accent, no?
Obvious or not, where are you from?
I regret that I cannot answer that with any certainty. You see, I am adopted.
How long have you been here?
Here, or here, as in, when was I born?
Both years.
I was born on October 8th, 1984, and I've been here since 10:30 this morning. My new mother came to the orphanage this morning. You may know the place. I believe you call it Kiddie City. And out of all the babies, she picked me. I wasn't sure what she was going to do for a while. She picked me up, walked me around, and gave me a big hug. But then she put me back and went over to look at the preemies. I hate those preemies. They get all the attention and the sympathy. Oh, people usually look at us first, but then their eyes catch a glimpse of those preemies and you hear, oh, the poor dears, they're so cute, and I feel so sorry for them. We usually don't stand a chance with those preemies around. But I got lucky this morning. Just as my new mom picked me up, she saw a great big smile. And she was so lucky for her, she didn't know what I really had was a little gas. But between my great big smile and my cute little sailor cap, those preemies never had the chance.
Hello, Marcel Pierre. Hello, Candy Amelia. How are my children doing? Are you two getting to know each other? No fighting, you know. Brothers and sisters must love each other and never, ever fight. I have a big surprise for the both of you that's waiting downstairs. I'll be back in just a few minutes. I just want to see how well you two are getting along. How big is Marcel? So big.
I think I am going to be very sick. Did she say you're my
Sister.
But
Marcel, I think you're going to be in for a big shock. You see, you don't really have a French accent.
I what?
Look at your hand. The other hand. Do you see that tag?
Oui. I mean, yes.
Well, what does it say?
How am I supposed to know? I am only 4 months old. I can't read it.
Well, I can. I'm very advanced for my age. Give me your hand. The other hand. It says here that your name is Marcel Pierre and that you were born on October 8th, 1984.
See, I told you that.
At Babyland General Hospital in Cleveland, Georgia.
No, you must have read it wrong. Read it again. I just can't be from Cleveland, Georgia. You mean I've been using the wrong accent all of my life?
Here she comes again. Be quiet. Look what Mommy bought for the two best children in the whole world. Their own little pet gooses. Tabby Cat, say hello to Marcel Pierre and Candy Amelia. Tabby Cat came all the way from Lycousa Valley just to be your friend. You three play nicely, and I'm going to get the bath water ready for Marcel and Candy's bubble bath. After the bath, we'll have nap time, and I'll go out for a nice long walk. I'll be back real soon. How big is Marcel? So big.
If she does that one more time, I'm going to drop her with a left hook, mother or no mother. What they ask, is that supposed to be?
She's supposed to be our loyal pet.
It is really ugly. You are really ugly. I am really ugly. Is there a reason why we all look like someone bashed our chins in with a baseball bat?
Some people think we're cute.
As soon as I learn to write, I'll send them a thank you letter. In Braille. Why is that thing looking at me like that?
It wants to be your friend.
It wants to be my friend. It wants to attack me is what it really wants. It wants to tear my ugly face off. I don't like kusas. What am I saying? I don't even know what a kusa is. But whatever it is, I don't like it. And I'll tell you another thing. If that animal bites me, I'm going to pick up my little Cabotrash phone, dial the Cabotrash hotline number with my little Cabotrash fingers, and report you all for Cabotrash abuse. I don't like it here. I don't want to be a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Little Marcel Pierre, only 4 months old and already unhappy with his lot in life. Marcel Pierre doesn't know it yet, but he's about to get his wish for a second chance. One that will afford him the opportunity to obtain the happiness he is so desperately searching for. Marcel Pierre is about to begin a journey into a dimension different from all others, one that we call the Cabbage Patch Zone.
Candy,
Hi, creep.
you're alive. You're real. I'm real. Tell me, how did it all happen?
Marcel, what's wrong with you? Have you been hitting the Fruit Loops again? You know, it's really embarrassing having a Looney Tune for a brother.
Son, I'm glad I found you. It's time for us to have a little talk. When I was your age, I was already earning a living. I'm not asking you to do that. I want you to enjoy yourself. But why should I have to pay someone to do jobs around this house that you're quite capable of doing? Did I ever tell you the time I supported my entire family while going to school by holding down 3 part-time jobs at the same time? Would it hurt you to mow the lawn and repair things around this house that need fixing? Where does it say that parents do everything while their children sit in front of the television set hour after hour staring at idiotic dribble? It's time for you to do something with your life and stop vegetating. I'm not saying this for me, it's for your own good. Here, I made a list of 10 jobs that will now be your responsibility. There will be no TV, no telephone calls, and no going out with friends until your homework and the jobs are done.
Marcel, I've just come from your room. It's an absolute disgrace. I can't believe anyone would choose to live like that. Books and clothes thrown all over the bed and floor. Marcel, I couldn't even find your carpet in there. I know there's a carpet in there because I bought it and helped install it. But it's gone now. Buried under a pile of clothes that have gone unwashed for God knows how many months. Tell me, why would anyone choose to live in a room that looks and smells like yours? Don't talk back to me, young man. Let me tell you something. You're not leaving this house until that room is spotless. That means peeling off the dirty sheets, getting clean linens, making your bed, and vacuuming your carpet. If you start now, you should be done by August. I only hope and pray your children turn out to be just like you. If there's any justice in this world, they'll do to you what you are doing to me.
Marcel, Sheila's here.
You go tell your girlfriend why you can't see her tonight. And by the way, if she wants to see a horror movie, send her up and I'll show her your room.
Who was she? The girl you seen walking down the hall this morning. Who was she? Oh, Sheila, I want to go steady forever. Do those words sound familiar? They should. You said them to me last night, you jerk. I can't believe you would do this to me. Tell me, didn't you think I was going to find out? Didn't you think my friends were going to tell me? I was going to call you, but I wanted the satisfaction of telling to your face that I never want to see or speak to you again. And neither will any other girl in our school once they hear what kind of a person you are. And believe me, they'll hear.
Someone get the phone!
Hello? Who? Mrs. Treadwell? Mrs. Treadwell, my guidance counselor? My parents? They're kind of busy right now. What are you... I'm failing how many subjects? Mrs. Treadwell, there must be some mistake. Are you sure you checked? Summer school? No, I'm not quite sure what we're doing this summer. I'm not quite sure about anything. I just thought things would be so different. Sometimes you really don't know how well off you are till you try something different. I just wish I could undo what I've done. I wish I could.
Marcel Pierre, are you ready for your nice warm bubble bath? Say goodbye to Canyon Million Tabby Cat. You'll be back to plant them soon. I'm gonna go get your towel.
I hope she doesn't forget my camouflage swim fins and scuba diving gear. I'm sorry I said you were ugly before.
That's okay.
You're really kind of cute.
What about Tabby Cat?
I guess she's kind of cute too.
Little Marcel Pierre. Again, only 4 months old, but now a much happier Cabbage Patch Kid, thanks to his journey to the Cabbage Patch Zone. Okay. How big is Marcel Pierre?
So big!
Fear is a feeling of alarm or disgust caused by the expectation of danger,
Pain,
disaster,
terror,
Dread.
or apprehension.
fright is fear suddenly aroused.
Dread is a strong fear.
Terror is violent, paralyzing fear.
Horror is a combination of fear.
And aversion.
Or repugnance.
Panic is a strong, sudden fear.
Today we attempt to study fear.
Talk about fear.
Reveal our fears.
And maybe yours.
And if we're lucky,
When we leave here today,
We'll all be
Fearless!
No, not fearless, just better to understand and deal with some of our everyday fears. The fears our cast will be examining today were the 4 most often mentioned in a poll conducted among our school's 8th grade students. And the situations we present actually happened to some of the people in our school. As you listen and watch today, imagine that you have been included in our school poll. What would you have said you feared the most? How about you? How about you?
I was included in our school's fear poll, and my fear, the fear of talking in front of a large group of people, was the 4th most frequently listed by our students. Where does a fear like this come from? In my case, it came from a bad experience. Talking to a large group never bothered me until the December I was in the 5th grade. I was in the chorus that year and had, if I say so myself, a very good voice. Anyways, I was given a solo in our Christmas concert. I'll never forget the song.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
No, it was the night before Christmas.
Sorry.
Every student in school was in the audience the day of the concert, and my parents sat in the back of the auditorium wearing their "That's my daughter" smile. I guess I should mention that I was basically a lazy kid in the 5th grade, and one day I came up with the idea, why memorize my lines? Why not just write the words to my solo on my hand and glance quickly down at my palm just before my part? At the time, I was sure the idea bordered on genius. I practiced the technique several times at home, and each time it worked out perfectly. The morning of the concert, I wrote the words to my solo on my palm, and I knew I had nothing to worry about. The concert started out great, and just a few minutes before my part, the choral director pointed at me to stand in front of the rest of the group. I walked up to the microphone with quiet confidence and sang along with the others until just before my part, and then I looked down at my palm. In my wildest dreams, I never would have guessed that sweat blurs ink. I couldn't make out a word. The time of my solo was in hand, and all I could do was stare at the audience. Even my parents had a, "Who's that kid and what's she doing up there?" look on their face. Eventually, the song and the concert ended without me saying or singing another word. Everyone said that someday I would look back and laugh at the experience. Well, Someday hasn't arrived yet, and for a long time, I couldn't talk in front of any group, large or small, without stuttering and shaking. Then finally, a teacher persuaded me to talk in front of a small group of friends, and I could. Then I was able to talk to a small group of strangers, and a large group of friends, and now, today, you've witnessed the real test, talking in front of a large group of strangers. And in just a few seconds, I'll have finished my part, and lived to tell about it. I'll have conquered my fear by attacking it a little at a time. And look, no notes in my palm. I did it all alone.
Before we present our next scene,
I did it!
congratulations. As I was saying, before we present our next scene, I need the cooperation of the people sitting in the first few rows of the theater. In this scene, if anything happens that wasn't meant to happen, in other words, if we mess up, stay calm and don't panic. I assure you that what's in the sack is not poisonous, so no matter what, there's really no need to worry. I hope.
I've got a riddle for you. What are the world's slimiest, ugliest, yuckiest creatures? Snakes, that's it. I heard someone in the front row call out the answer, and she was right. Now you've got to understand that I have never, and probably will never, liked snakes. Actually, my dislike went beyond a dislike. It was, you guessed it, a real fear. Unlike Lauren, though, I don't know where my fear came from, but I do know the first time I came face to face with it. I was at my friend's 10th birthday party when her brother approached me with a sack that looked like this and said, "Hey, you want to meet Herbie?" I thought this jerk was talking about a cousin or an uncle, so I said, "Sure, I'd love to." He said, "Good." With that, he took out the biggest, ugliest, most disgusting looking snake I never wanted to see out of the bag, wrapped it around my neck and said, "Don't make any sudden moves or you'll scare him." Well, I don't know if fainting falls into the category of a sudden move, but that's exactly what I did. Fainted. Unfortunately for Herbie, his head broke my fall. My fall broke his head, and he died. Had I gone, I wouldn't have cried at his funeral. For years after my experience with Herbie, I couldn't even look at a picture of a snake. I even hid the S volume of our encyclopedia. And then a little while ago, I decided to do something about my fear. Like Lauren, I started slowly by looking at small black and white photos of snakes. And then I moved on to larger color photos of snakes. I even watched the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark and kept my eyes open during the entire snake scene. Today, I'm going to take the next and largest step in conquering my fear. So please be absolutely quiet while I reach into the sack. Remove and place around my neck this 4-foot big snake. Who knows, if I keep this up, maybe someday I'll be able to see the entire Philadelphia Zoo. Reptile House and all. Say bye-bye.
You weren't afraid, were you? You always hold your breath and turn white when someone reaches into a sack, don't you? I know the question on everybody's mind right now is, how about the narrator? What did she list as her greatest fear? I take it from the snickering I just heard that that question may not be on everyone's mind right now, but that's okay. For those good people out there who care about their narrator, my fear is coming up next.
In our poll, a large number of boys expressed a fear of talking to girls.
In our poll, a large amount of girls expressed a fear of talking to boys.
I've come here today to talk about where this fear comes from and what can be done to lessen it. I think the majority of our fear comes from uncertainty. Boys are expected to take the initiative, to show interest first. Girls have no idea how hard it is for a boy to call a girl for the first time. Sure, we practice the call. Big girl B said. She says, "Hello?" I say, "Hi, this is Rick." She says,
Hi, Rick, I was just thinking about you.
I say, how'd you like to go to the school dance with me next Friday? She says,
I'd love to.
I say, great, see you then, and hang up. Like I said, that's what happens when I practice the call. Unfortunately, the call itself usually goes more like this. She says,
Hello?
I say, hi Ellen, this is Rick. She says,
Rick who?
I panic, hang up, look for a place to hide for the next few years.
I think the majority of our fear is caused by uncertainty. We're told by our parents,
It's not right for a girl to call a boy.
so we have to wait by the phone to see if someone we really likes us enough to call. And what about school dances? We spent God knows how long trying to look our best, and then we just stand there, waiting and wondering if anyone will ever ask us to dance, if the person we really like will treat us like we don't even exist.
School dances are my biggest fear. Sure, I'd like to ask a girl to dance. In fact, I usually spend the first 2 hours of a dance trying to find the courage to do just that. But then I say to myself, what if I ask her to dance and in front of everyone else she says no?
Excuse me, but I couldn't help overhearing what you've been saying.
Me too. It's not that I was eavesdropping or anything.
I know. Maybe it's not talking to each other that we're afraid of as much as it is being rejected by each other.
I think you might be right. But how do we go about lessening this fear?
I think we've already taken the first step, figuring out what our fear is. I think our next step is learning to care and to be aware of each other's feelings. In other words,
Before I say or do something, I think about how it'll make you feel.
and I'll do the same for you.
Does that mean the next time we're at the school dance and I finally get up the nerve to ask you to dance, you'll say yes?
No, but I do promise to care about your feelings.
And I'll do the same for you.
When?
Next time you ask me to dance.
I have a feeling this isn't going to be easy, but at least it's a beginning.
Just as all plays must come to an end, so must all lives. And the fear most often mentioned by our students dealt with just that, the fear of growing old and dying. As you heard earlier, we believe once you've identified a fear, you can begin to rid yourself of it through understanding. Our students are getting an understanding of the elderly through an adopted grandparent program we started this year, where we write, visit, and do volunteer work at a nearby nursing home. Getting to know the residents of the home has eased many of the fears our students have about aging, and even given some of us an understanding. Not an acceptance, but an understanding that death is not always cruel, that sometimes it's the only thing that can end pain and suffering. Mrs. Murdoch is one of the many people we've met this year at the nursing home. The poem she wants to share with you tells her story, and the story of many other elderly people. As you listen, I think you'll understand a little about what we've learned this year about the elderly, and how this has helped to ease our fears about aging.
What do you see, nurse? What do you see? What are you thinking when you're looking at me? A crabby old woman, not very wise, uncertain of habit, with faraway eyes, who dribbles her food and makes no reply. When you say in a loud voice, I do wish you'd try. Who seems not to notice the things that you do, and forever is losing a stocking or shoe. Who, unresisting or not, let you do as you will. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you see? Then open your eyes, nurse. You're not looking at me. I'll tell you who I am as I sit here so still, as I do your bidding, as I eat at your will. I'm a small child of 10, for the father and mother, brothers and sisters who love one another. A young girl of 16 with wings on her feet, dreaming that soon now a lover shall meet. A bride soon at 20, my heart gives a leap, remembering the vows that I promised to keep. At 25 now I have young of my own, who needs me to build a secure, happy home. A woman at 30, my young now grown fast, bound to each other, ties that should last. At 40, my young sons have grown and are gone, but my man's beside me to see I don't mourn. At 50, once more babies play round my knee. Again we know children, my loved one and me. Dark days are upon me. My husband is dead. I look at the future. I shudder with dread. My young are all rearing, young of their own. I think of the years and the love that I've known. I'm an old woman now, and nature is cruel. 'Tis her jest to make old age look like a fool. The body, it crumbles. Grace and vigor depart. There is now a stone where I once had a heart. But inside this old carcass, a young girl still dwells. And now and again, my battered heart swells. I remember the joys. I remember the pain. And I'm living and loving life all over again. I think of the years, all too few gone too fast, and accept the stark fact that nothing can last. So open your eyes, nurse. Open and see. Not a crabby old woman. Look closer. See me.
Fear is a feeling of alarm or disgust caused by the expectation of danger
Pain, disaster, terror.
Dread.
or apprehension.
Today we attempted to study fear.
Show you how we overcame our fears.
But how about you?
Had you been included in our poll?
What would your fears have been?
Please raise your hand if you would have included any of these fears.
Is anyone out there afraid of mice?
Or rats?
How about escalators? Or elevators?
Is anyone afraid of heights?
How many other people have had a fear of talking in front of a large group?
Is anyone else out there afraid of snakes?
How many people are afraid of the dark?
Is anyone afraid of planes or ships? How about the fear of spiders or other insects?
Is anybody else out there afraid of aging?
How about the fear of ending a play and having no one in the audience applaud?
This is Channel B15, the Cherry Hill Public Schools television station.